GHP or Atlantic?
I'll do whatever order. My notes say that NJHP is there, but we're happy to do Atlantic. Let's start with Atlantic Avenue Healthcare Property Holding Corporation. Sarah, could you just let us know who's here and who's not?
Sure. The role for the Atlantic Avenue subsidiary, we have in our New York City office, our chair, Lisa Gomez, Beryl Snyder, Jerry Romsky, and Liz Velez. In Buffalo, Janice McKinney. Here in Albany, Joan Sullivan, Adrian Strzersky, Christina Coughlin, and Ken Evans, and joining remotely is Al Carney.
Okay, great. Thank you so much. So our first order of business is a resolution for the election of officers. As this is the annual meeting, the board must adopt a resolution designating the authorized officers of the NGHP subsidiary. So some sort of housekeeping stuff. Does anybody have any questions on that? Anybody needs further information?
What are we doing?
This is Atlantic Avenue.
Atlantic Avenue or NGHP?
Well, I thought I was starting with NGHP, and I was told we were doing Atlantic Avenue. So we're starting with Atlantic Avenue. Got it. Yep. We need a motion. Thank you, Jerry. A second, please.
Second.
Thank you, Liz. Motion to approve. Aye. Any opposed? No. Any abstentions? No. Great. Thank you. Next order of business is motion to approve the minutes on tab 2.
Sure.
Thank you, Jerry.
Second.
Thank you, Al. All in favor? Aye. Any opposed? No. Any abstentions? No. Motion carries. Thank you. Item 3 is the governance report, a review of tab 3A in your books and the mission statement, performance measures and metrics to quantify performance goals 3B. And Beryl will take us through that.
At the meeting, I believe it was in February, the Governance Committee for Atlantic Avenue subsidiary conducted its annual review of the subsidiary bylaws and mission statement, performance measures, and metrics to qualify performance goals. Neither the staff nor the Governance Committee is recommending any changes to these documents at these times. The full board is required, however, to review these documents annually. I'd like to turn back to the chairman to confirm that the members have reviewed these.
Okay, great. As a standard procedure, we don't need a resolution on this. We just want to confirm that all members have in fact reviewed this these 2 tabs. And if nobody has any questions, we will move on to tab 4, the President's report.
Thank you, Madam Chair. I'll take the opportunity to introduce Craig Schreibogel, who will provide an overview of the subsidiary and its activities during the past year for the record.
Thank you, President Rodriguez. Good morning, and I know it still is morning. My presentation today is intended to provide a brief overview of the annual Atlantic Avenue President's Report, which is included in the board materials. I will touch on the history leading to now and events that have transpired over the last year since the May 2025 annual update. By now, I believe all are aware how Atlantic Avenue came to own the Interfaith Medical Center campus. At its core, Interfaith Medical Center was one of 11 financially distressed hospitals in the 1980s and 90s that participated in the Secured Hospital Program, whereby New York State financially backed the hospital's bonds. Upon Interfaith's exit from bankruptcy in 2014, the Division of Budget permanently assumed bondholder payments, and the property was conveyed to this DASNY subsidiary as mortgagee. Atlantic Avenue continues to lease property back to Interfaith for use as a hospital and uses monthly lease payments and certain established reserves to pay property insurance costs, while Interfaith is responsible for all other property-related costs. As you may recall, the lease runs through February 15th, 2038. Before I update you on current events, I want to remind the board that Interfaith Medical Center and Kingsbrook Jewish Medical Center formally merged into Brookdale Hospital Medical Center in January 2021. Interfaith and Kingsbrook are now commonly referred to as the Interfaith Division and Kingsbrook Division. However, Brookdale Hospital Medical Center is the sole surviving entity and the flagship institution comprising One Brooklyn Health System. As for events over the last year, number one, Interfaith and the entire One Brooklyn Health System continued to progress with its transformation plan using funds from a $700 million grant the system was awarded. To date, approximately $486 million of the grant funding has been dispersed to OBHS by DOH toward the various project components, and approximately 63 of 84 sub-projects have reportedly been completed or in final closeout. The three priorities of the plan remain the establishment of an ambulatory care center, integrated IT system improvements, and facility infrastructure investments to support the clinical restructuring of the system. The current expectation is the remaining 21 grant sub-projects will be completed between now and the end of 2027. Number two, a brief update centered around financial results. Like many other safety net hospitals, Brookdale and OBHS continue to receive substantial levels of operating assistance from New York State. Despite this, OBHS finished 2024 with a $188 million operating loss and a $381 million total net asset deficit. While Brookdale remains highly dependent upon the state support, staff expects this situation to steadily improve in the years to come based on ongoing transformation efforts. And lastly, One Brooklyn Health System appointed a new permanent CEO in May of 2025, following the board's decision not to retain the previous CEO's contract after 6.5 years. In addition, a chief transformation officer was brought on in 2025, who has been busy implementing process improvement, strategic, and cost-cutting initiatives. Furthermore, in January 2026, the OBHS board adopted a 5-year financial transformation plan focused on 5 key elements aimed at improving quality, safety, and overall efficiency. I am cautiously optimistic about the current winds of change swirling around OBHS. In closing, I want to assure the board that the cost to hold properties related to Atlantic Avenue is not creating any financial burden on either DASNY or its Atlantic Avenue subsidiary. Ongoing rent payments received from OBHS and reserve funds set aside at the time of the bankruptcy help cover any expenses associated with holding the property. Atlantic Avenue is responsible for making insurance-related payments on the property. However, there is more than enough money to cover those costs for an extended period of time. That concludes my report, my remarks, and I'm prepared to answer any questions. Thank you.
The balance of the properties that we own, they're now all being used sort of by the hospital, right? There's no other properties to be conveyed or to be put on RFP. We did great work on that by conveying these properties for additional affordable housing in the Brooklyn area, blah, 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 blah. But there still is a couple of properties still owned by DASNY, but they're not going that way any longer, right? We're just using those and they're being used for the hospital in some way. Am I right? Or am I wrong on that take?
You are right, Jerry. We own the main hospital, some parking garages, and a mile down the road, a clinic. All the vital Brookdale, all the vital Brooklyn projects associated with the Interfaith campus are complete.
Got it.
I will say this though. You remember how I told you that Kingsbrook Jewish is part of OBHS?
Yes.
So there are a couple vital Brooklyn projects going on the Kingsbrook campus. One is near completion and one is on the precipice of taking place. And we're going to have to, DASNY and Atlantic Avenue for that matter, release part of our mortgage for them to build the Kingsbrook Estates project on the Kingsbrook campus, according to the governor's, Vital Brooklyn initiative that is a priority for Chamber. So to answer your question, yes, Interfaith, which we own, completed, but Kingsbrook, which is part of OBHS, there's still some Vital Brooklyn projects going on.
Got it.
So Did I confuse you sufficiently?
No, I got it. I'm following you. I got it. I remember Interface. Interface was the one hospital at the time that was actually doing okay until they realized their whole financial accounting system and their software was like fatally flawed. And like one meeting they were okay, next meeting they were basically broke. Right, Portia? Am I right on that? I think so.
That is my recollection as well, Jerry.
The point of that is just the importance of financial
Yes.
reporting systems and getting reimbursed for Medicare.
We
and
need to
Medicaid.
find a Kim.
She's not available.
I would recommend it.
No. Okay. Anything further on Atlantic Avenue? If not, could we get a motion to adjourn? Great, thank you, Jerry. Thank you, Liz. All in favor? Aye. Nobody is opposed. Nobody is abstaining. We will now go to NGHP Holding Corporation. Same